Okay, so we're going to start off in Illustrator and we're going to use the trailer graphic as a reference and then select a font and adjust that font to make it look as close as we can to the trailer graphic look. Let's get going. So here in Illustrator, I've already got the reference image imported. This is a still from a trailer. And when I saw this trailer, I instantly recognized the font. It's Eurostyle, and this particular version is Eurostyle Extended, so Extended Black. So I'm going to create a new layer and make sure I've got my type tool selected. Click and type in electric. I want it to be caps. Just going to move that over into position. Now black is not going to be so useful. I'll just make that white. So this font is often used in sci-fi and action films. It's really recognizable to me. And what I might do is just move my cursor, click in there, and then just use my Alt and right arrow just to move it apart a little bit. Just get them basically in place. And I'm going to hold down the Alt key and just drag and duplicate that. Double click, type in state. And once again, just move that over into place. Obviously, there need to be some adjustments made to this. I'll get the S about right. And once again, just kern this in a little bit. It's going to cross over. I'll just leave that there. Get these ones kind of in place. And I want them to be just inside the bevel, because when I bevel this in Blender, it's going to extend beyond the edges of this text. So that's a good start. What I'll also do is just drag that up. And once again, type in the word. We want these. Select it all, and I'll just scale that down. Like that. And just put that basically in place. Could be a little bit bigger. Like that. I'm just using a keyboard shortcut for that, but you can come over here and change the size here. Smooth that across a bit. This doesn't really have much of a bevel on it, so it can be around the same size as the guide. That's about right. Okay, so what I'll do is come over to layers, and I'm just going to hold down the Alt key with these all selected. Hold down the Alt key, I guess that's option on Mac, and then just duplicate that. Turn that one off because that's going to be my text, or I'll call it my live text. Live text, just in case. Lock that and come and work with these ones. So if I select it all, I'm going to press Shift Control O. On Windows, I guess that's Shift Alt O on Mac, just to turn that to outlines. And I'm just going to click on this little double-sided arrow just to show the outline there, or the stroke, so I can get this a little better lined up. So I'll just select these now. These are going to be much easier to adjust. Now, but this image has perspective, so I have to account for that. Going to get it fairly close. This can probably be back a little bit. See, it's been modified for this logo. It's always better to try and find the font for these kinds of logos if you can, because drawing this logo manually takes a lot of work, but if you can start with the actual font and just make the adjustments, it saves a lot of time. This one, I'm not sure whether I want to extend this one. I don't really want to start playing with this curve, so I might just leave that like that. This one needs to come across a bit. And it's a little low, so I'll just grab these and bring these up. And we'll adjust this one in a moment. Okay, so this has to come across and join with that. And we'll grab the rectangle tool and we'll just line that up with that, just to be about there, I think. And we'll use this in a moment and we'll cut this out. So just have that there. It's okay if it's a little bit shifted across to the right there. Like I said, that's to the left. That's because of the perspective. That's okay. That's okay. I think that's all right. Okay. Now, for this one, I'm going to press A to get my direct selection tool. This is quite straight here. So once again, I'll just make this a little narrower there. Grab these and bring those across. And bring this, and I need to go into outline mode. So that's Control Y, just to make sure that that lines up with that. So I think, let's have a look at this. I'm just going to hide this. This seems a little wider than down here. It's obviously been adjusted, and it's very straight there as well. So let's see here. What we can do is hit P. I'm going to just move over that control point there and just remove it. And I'm going to remove that one and that one. Like that. Just doing a little bit of work here to refine this. So here I want to get my pen tool again and just break that. I can actually just click on that, but I don't want to mess up this part of the curve. You see how that changed that? So I'll just click with Alt held down. If I can reach it, there we go, and just get that like that. And now I can bring those out a bit. Like I said, I don't want to mess up this curve too much. What I can probably do is just hit P, add a point there, and A, and just bring that across. That way I'm not going to mess up that curve. I've got that extra point in there. So if I don't want to mess that up, then I need to make sure that it matches here as well. So I think what we need to do is grab all of these and just bring them up and line them up with that, like that. Zoom right in, make sure that's on that. And that's pretty close. And now I'll just grab this one and these ones and come down and just line that up. I could snap it, but that's pretty good. Bring that back there like that. I think that's pretty good. All right, so we have got this down here as well, so we can grab that, bring that in, and let's see, best way to do this. Okay, I know what to do. Grab the pen, get rid of these, get rid of that and that. A again. It's really worthwhile learning the shortcuts when you're in Illustrator. That can go there. This can come a little bit down because it's got to be a little narrower. That seems to be a little narrower too. Something like that. And what we'll do is bring this one across because it's extended, right? And I think this needs to come up as well. So we'll just grab a ruler or a guide and just line that up. Now we need to make sure we can see that. So I just want to go to View and Smart Guides. Where's Show Guides? Guides, show guides. There we go. Grab these, bring those up and snap them to the guides. Guides are going to be really useful when you're doing this kind of stuff. All right, so let's grab, actually what we'll do is we'll go and we'll line that up with that. Smart guides are on. And then we'll take that one and bring them back so we have them the same angle. Now I'll just take that. Oop, don't want to take all of it. Just click in the middle there. Grab that. And there. And this one I'll just eyeball, I'll just bring that back. Okay. Looks pretty good. So the top of, so I'm just checking out where the E is here and where this one is. And if I grab a guide, you can see they are slightly different. This bevel is a little lower and this one's a little higher, so I'm okay with that. As long as it looks close, I think that's fine. You can fine tune this to taste. This one looks like it's at a slight angle. Maybe like that. All right, so the only other thing to do is just adjust this one. Bring that out and bring that one across. That may need to come across a little bit. When I'm in Illustrator, my hand's constantly on the Shift key and on the Control key, just bouncing between those keys. Illustrator was one of the very first pieces of software that I learned how to use. I don't know, maybe I'll just leave that as it is. Extend this one a bit. And once again, just grab the rectangle and then just add that in there like that. So what we're going to do now is select it all. And we're going to switch back to here. And we're going to use this tool here. So this is the shape builder. So I'll click on that. And anywhere that I have these things that I want to join up, I just click and drag across. And that builds that shape. And here I want to remove. So I hold down Control. And that takes that away. Subtracts it. So here I want to add it. Command Y. I'm going to hide my guides. Oh, it's just this one here, right? So just take those, grab that tool again, and just plus. We didn't have to switch it from outlines, but we're going to have to do that anyway before we export. And grab that tool once more, because I forgot that too. So what I want to do now is just grab my pen and just select it all and just see if there's any points that I can get rid of. Like maybe this one. And this one. Okay. Select it all again. Anything else? Looks pretty good. Just making sure that there's enough space between the letters. Obviously, we're trying to match the guide, but we don't want it to be too squished up. We can always adjust it inside of Blender, but getting it here as close as possible is a good thing too. All right. So I'm just going to do a quick save. I'm going to replace that one. And I want to export this to SVG format. I'm going to go File, Export as SVG. and click export. Here I'm just going to leave the default settings and click OK. Alright, so that didn't take long, did it? Very easy just to make a few modifications in Illustrator to prepare that file. Save it as an SVG, and in the next tutorial what we'll do is we'll bring that into Blender and we'll start working on it in 3D. So I'll see you in the next tutorial.